So, so here today we are privileged to have Mr. Abir Majumdar. He is basically engineering graduate and also management professional. He was involved with the Big Four organization as a consultant for a long time. Now, actually, he has set up his own organization. The name of the organization is Idea Factory. The Idea Factory. Now, today we'll be discussing about the topic thought leadership. So we'll start with the topic that what do you think what do you actually think about the thought leadership and why do you think it is so important for the organization?
Thank you, Mr. Tuhin. Yes, uh, we will talk about thought leadership today. I will start the discussion with a small quote from Ani Anyadu, which says, "Thought leadership is when a leader's thoughts are being used by leaders to lead others." This is a great statement which actually captures the main essence of thought leadership, which means that it is the mind which governs the workings of an organization. Just like the mind governs the working of a human being, similarly, the mind of an organization helps in working on the organization. So, thought leadership is therefore a very big term which can uplift the organization and take it to the right direction. Having said that, thought leadership is not a current term or a buzzword management jargon that has come today. It has been there for a while and it is a simple word because both thoughts and leaderships have been there for a longer period of time. The word thought leadership has been coined back as early as 19th century by Henry Ward Beecher in 1887. But the context has still was evolving. It was over there. It various connotations and implications of the word has come over. In the last 5 years, it has got a lot of importance because knowledge sector has gained a lot of importance, and since we are a services country, obviously knowledge sector is very important to the growth of our nation. So thought leadership in that way is very important. If you ask what is thought leadership, of course, as we can understand, it is the leadership given by the mind. Okay. And it's a mindset of questioning the status quo, wherein you know uh, you improve upon the current situation, the products, the services, the customer experience, the business model, and put all together the 360-degree version of the organization can actually be improved by the concept of thought leadership. Only recently, thought leadership is getting a lot of importance. And very recently, there's a group called Thought Leaders of India has been formed, which actually has members of the elite business leaders. And with their mentoring process, by their knowledge sharing, by their advice, they are actually giving advice to big and small organizations today. Worldwide, Thinkers 50 is a community of management thinkers who provide guidance and direction to organizations across the world. And this is a dynamic list which gets updated or revised every 2 years. And therefore, Thinkers 50 is a very prestigious list that comes out every 2 years. Having said that, thought leadership has a long way to go. It is still at a very preliminary stage. And if you are looking at who is a thought leader, is it an individual or is it an organization? I think you would say that mm, individuals, yes, organizations, yes, because the impact of an organization is very high because it changes lives of so many people, creates jobs, gives wonderful products in the hands of the customer, brings money to the table, and obviously the impact of thought leadership given by organizations is very high. Okay, but thought leaders are not necessarily business leaders. They are also individuals who can bring in new direction, new futuristic thinking into the way businesses are being done, and maybe their contributions are also no less important. So put together, thought leadership is a mix of individual as well as business contributions, whatever changes the world. Previously, thought leaders, if you talk of the people, have been changing lives of so many people, and previously they were all individual people who were changing the world. It's only recently when organizations came up that even leadership becomes distributed and becomes a teamwork. Okay, but so today it's a mix of all of them. And in India, when after the pandemic, when organizations are trying to get back, this is a good time when we talk of innovation, new ideas, new products, because we are a kind of starting afresh, changing gears, changing the direction in businesses are being run, and small and medium enterprises are also coming up in a big way to fight out or to bring products which are competing directly with the MNCs. Okay, without the brand name pull, without the money power of the MNCs, if small and medium enterprises bring products which are better than what is already available in the market, it's a great challenge that they are taking. And thought leadership is perhaps the term that is going to help them or guide them or take big leaps of faith without knowing the end result. So, put together, if you ask me, thought leadership is indeed a great way ahead as we try to reset India after the post pandemic era.
So you have been involved with the Big Four organization as a consultant for a long time, and you have been dealing with various kind of the means real time means real kind of the problem means real time problem. You have been actually solving the real the problems on the real time basis. Now the thing is that what do you think that what is the main problem for the Indian SME organization or the small organization to adopt the philosophy of the thought leadership? Means they are not actually that much of adaptive till now. So the thing is that why actually the attitude towards adopting the thought leadership, why is it like that? If you can
I
throw.
think it is India is very open to thought leadership at this point in time. I have been interacting with industry bodies as well as the government sector also, and they are very open to innovation and new ideas. So even if we don't use the word thought leadership in our discussions or deliberations with various parties, we are discussing innovation and new ideas in a big way. Government is bringing out new packages to incentivize startups to bring new products. There are awards being given to new products which are better than what is available in the market, and also to solve real life problems. I think the main key element of it is to bring the startup should focus on solving real life problems and then slowly improve the products and services better and better and better. Okay. So the core element being, if you have a problem and if you can't, if you have a solution to the current problem, then you are already ahead in the game. You are not a Me Too product, and that you are not Me Too product in the market, and you will not strive for existence because you will have a niche of your own. Of course, it will be small. You will have a very small client list at the beginning because people don't know about you. Many people don't want to take risk with new products. So put together, I would say thought leadership is the time of thought leadership has come. Okay. I'm not saying that people use the word thought leadership, but the time has come for innovation, new products, and new systems. And I have been discussing certain thoughts with many others. I'm going to share one example with you. The whole world is, talking about water crisis, and they have been talking about for so many years, wherein it's as the government is moving towards sustainability, and they are actually doing away with resources which like the petroleum has gone away. There are so many things that we are slowly going away and trying to find substitute. Water has still not found a substitute, and we are still fighting over the whole process. And it is very surprising, but that water can be produced in the lab with H2 plus O2 is equal to H2O, which all of us know. It is very surprising that nobody has taken the initiative of preparing lab water and using it to the mass scale. I have tried to knock this idea to so many people. Until now, I have not got a clear answer. Some of them have said it will be prohibitively costly, water will cost money, it is not free. But of course, you are replacing, if you are doing mineral water today, taking from natural water, what is the problem of creating, lab generated water? And of course, you have to infuse with minerals and, the basic ingredients that goes into water, but that can be artificially done. I still don't understand why a simple thing like this is still not available in the market, and why no SME has come forward and bring about a new product which is a lab generated water. The whole of India will support you. I think this is the message to the world outside, that the whole of India will support you if you bring something like that, and also maintain the ecological balance, because once you use up H2 and O2, then the balance will also a bit of get reduced. So you will have there has to be a supporting system where oxygen has again replenished back into the system by afforestation, or if there is an artificial method, we have to look into it. So put together, it's a very interesting idea, which is a very simple one, which doesn't take too much of brain to work on it, but can do a lot of problem solving on the waterfront. This is my small bit on the thought leadership to begin the discussion.
So I think that day also will come, because the way we are actually extracting all the natural resources, the water is going to get over very soon, and we need to produce the water in the lab as well. So the thing is that there days are not far that when we need to produce the water in the lab. So anyway, that the thing is that. So do you suggest any kind of the framework also for the thought leadership? So which is very important for the organization to adopt that kind of the thing. Means in your
I
organization,
think
your idea factory. So do you have any kind of the thought leadership framework, if you can offer, means as a consultant, if you can offer that kind of the model for the SME organization, they'll be benefited.
I think let us come from where the term thought leadership has come in the workings that we are working on. Okay, if you just to tell you, it has not actually come from looking at the market and trying to see what is the progress like that. It has come very organically, and I just want to touch upon the fact that both my startups, the Idea Factory and Learning Hall, they are very small today. Okay, but conceptually both of them want to contribute to the world in the way, if they want to change the way education is being done, learning and development is being done, and things like that. So, and also, in my books I've suggested a lot of ideas to change whatever problems we are seeing in the economy. So the writing part, the Idea Factory, the Learning Hall, they have all been encompassed into a term called thought leadership, which means that all of them will directly, indirectly contribute to changing the current scheme of things in the near future. So from that concept, the idea of thought leadership has come, and all both of them on a day-to-day basis. The learning hall is trying to bring in new ideas and thought processes into the working stuff. The idea factory is suggesting new and new things to small, medium businesses and whatever clients are coming our way. So put together, it's a the it's like a over encompassing term that we are using for whatever we are doing. Having said that, it also needs a framework to work on. Okay, which means that, as I told you, it's a 360-degree process. And 360-degree process means it will involve the overall general strategy of the organization, the finance, the marketing, the customer service, and all put together. And it will bring about the incorporate innovation and new thinking into organization. So our framework is being made today, but currently I think we are trying to get a feel of what thought leadership is from the people whom we are talking with, and very soon we will start with a very simple framework encompassing these basic mathematic processes, and slowly we will improve the framework to make it available in the near future. Okay, so in my scheme of things, it is not necessarily a recent analogy of a thought leadership framework could be something like a Tata business excellence model, similar to that, but not necessarily exactly that, because that was a business excellence framework. But that is a over encompassing framework which captures everything. There's a certain amount of weightage given to the systems and processes. There's a certain amount of weightage given to the results. So and put together, they weave it and form a beautiful framework for the Tata companies. I myself worked in the Tata companies for 5 years, and hence I know this framework. So that can be taken as the base model on which we are working on. How the model will shape up, how it will develop, only time will tell. We will come with talk about it a bit later. But going forward, we will be working on a very simple model, which will be easy to understand, comprehend well, and perhaps captures the system processes and the results, weave it together, and have a simple model to begin with. I think this is what we are going to offer to small and medium enterprises if we kind of work with them.
So that is great. See, the thing is that as we are into the space of the business coaching and the consulting, definitely it will be better for the organization to have this kind of the structured and defined framework, so that we can offer a structured and defined framework to for them to adopt. So now the my next question is that can you give some examples where the thought leadership has been accepted very well and it has produced a result? Because our viewers means who are actually there in the FB community, they actually can understand if you can correlate with some particular kind of the example. So it will be better for them to understand.
Right. I think one example I've just given, which is a potential thought leadership. But in recent times, what we have seen, there have been some innovations that have changed the world. For example, if you look at me, since I worked in the telecom sector, I find that mobile phone is a great example of a thought leadership because it has changed the way people connect with each other throughout the world. So the mobile phone in today, everything it's such an important element of today's business world that everything is being connected to the phone, and you can integrate the laptop, you can integrate the videos, everything is so. I think mobile phone and the mobile network put together are a great example of thought leadership, which has actually changed India as well as the rest of the world. If you ask me who is behind this thought leadership, I would say it's actually the business sector. And if you want to name one person who has brought about a change, I would say maybe Steve Jobs, because from the Apple concept, from the Apple mobile phone, it is being allocated to his name. And so, other than that, other names are mostly distributed organizationally, and we cannot pinpoint a name for the mobile phone. Only today, I have seen a video that has come up from the Facebook CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, who says in the future, the mobile will not be the center of the activities. They are experimenting with glasses, and they have tied up with Ray-Ban. And, all the Facebook features will now be available in the Ray-Ban, and you don't even have to take a phone out of your hand. So that again is a great example of thought leadership for the future. Yeah, it is already, if the video has come, it is already out in the market, I'm sure. And tomorrow we are looking forward to a lot of initiatives being taken from the glass. We have been talking about Google Glass for a long time, but only today, if Facebook is offering its features, of course, all of them will actually migrate to Ray-Ban glasses, and tomorrow Ray-Ban might be the center of attraction, and it will not stop there. Again, they will go into something higher than that. So it is happening. May not be using the word thought leadership, but changes are happening. Another example I want to give is stevia, which is actually a natural ingredient which is from a leaf that has come out in the market as a a sweetener for beverages, which is kind of sugar free, which does not take into effect the sugar cane part of it, and it's a natural ingredient and it is used as a sugar free, and that solves a lot of problem for people who have problems with sugar, and this has been going on for ages. Yet stevia has come out only 1 or 2 years back, and I think it's a great innovation that has happened, which adds value. It adds the sugar part stays, but not the calories. And people do have problems with adding calories with sugar, and they stop taking sugar. But stevia is a great thought leadership initiative that has happened. And today we can call it a thought leadership because it has come the whole way. It has come out in the market. So for not only thought leadership is about giving the idea, but taking it to the finishing line as well. Thirdly, I think now that we have talked about lab generated water, we can also talk about electric vehicles because they have done away with, they are a substitute for your diesel and petrol engines, and how it has changed the automobile market today. So electric vehicles are a great product, and I'm sure it will not end with electric vehicles. There are a lot of bio gas experimental with air, with water. I see a lot of small researches happening here and there. They may not have reached the great scale of electric vehicles. But going forward, this would be a great area. Tomorrow, I think even your aeroplane may not use the current ATF that we are doing, and tomorrow it might come with a renewable energy, and that would be a great change. That aeroplane does not need the petroleum product as a fuel. So there are exciting times ahead. Okay, and this will again. The other day, I saw a small ad of a shoe company which has come out with a shoe out of recyclable plastic. I think it is called Newman shoes or something, and that I think is a great example because we have been using cow hide for a very long time for shoes and leather products, and that is not acceptable in society because we are not trying to harm animals in the process of making good for us, and this is long overdue. It has long overdue. So I think this new shoes that has come out with a recyclable plastic is a great step towards thought leadership. So hide will go out, your leather shoes will go out of product, and maybe the new product will come. These are small steps, but to improve this, maintain the balance and harmony of nature, and still, continue our usability of products. These are small issues. So, as I told you, thought leadership and business go hand in hand, but it starts from the brain, and somewhere up to the finishing line, we get to know only when the product is out in the market. So, thought leadership has been there, is there, and will be there in the near future as well.
So the thing is that we understood the concept of the thought leadership, the way it is actually is operating in the industry and how the industries are adopting also, including the Indian industries. Now, can you give some kind of the little bit idea that how could it be beneficial for the small scale industries, means SMEs, because they have a very small resources. So the thing is that when they have a small resources, they need a very structured, productive ideas to survive because the market is full up, means market is very turbulent basically. So the thing is that means what do you suggest? How should they actually adopt? Means this kind of the things.
I think the first part is, as I told you, you have to produce something which is solve a current problem. Okay, so focusing on the problem is very important, and people are going to buy the products or services which solve their current problem, not the futuristic kind of a problem. Okay, so while we work back end for the long term kind of stuff, at the same time we want to give products which are used by the consumers on a day-to-day basis. Okay, that being the stop, at the same time we must also bring something new to the table. My request to the SME sector is always to have think yourself to be something great in your mind, which means that you will bring a product which is the best in the market. Okay, however small, even if you sell a small product, like even if you sell one shoe, okay, you may not be able to say 100 shoes, but if you want to sell 10 shoes, those shoes should be better than the shoe that is available in the market. Okay, if someone has already come out with a recyclable plastic shoe, why don't you go to the next level and bring out a shoe which doesn't even need plastic? Might You might need a new material that comes with the shoe, which can be manufactured synthetically but has the as good properties of of a regular shoe, and better features on that whole process. So a bit of research, also goes hand in hand. So if you want to challenge what is already, just now, say if the recyclable plastic shoe from Newman is already out in the market, if you want to challenge this product, you have to bring a shoe which is better than that. Okay, so there will be a certain amount of R&D that will go. In a rush, if you want to bring about, just because you want to go into business, you can only bring about a me too product. Okay, but if you have experience in that field, you will bring about a product which is slightly better than what is already available. So that being the focus, you build your business around that. Okay, today it will be difficult to sell to customers because the customer doesn't know your product, they don't want to risk your product, but you have to sell 10 shoes. Okay, and these 10 shoes, if they sell well and if you get good feedback, that will scale up to 20 shoes and 30 shoes. Okay, so in the process, you go step by step in the process. So not only you give the shoe, but also be in touch with the customer. One thing that I've seen with product companies is they, unlike a service company, they are not in touch with the customer. So while the customer might be very happy with the shoe that you've got, but they would be delighted if you keep in touch with them once in a while or be connected digitally through some WhatsApp or whatever, so that they can connect with you whenever they need it. They might not be in touch with you on a regular basis, but whenever they need something upgradation or some service from you, they should be regularly. They should not. You should not leave it to them to come back to you where better and better. So there's a small amount of innovation required in the business model also. Of course, a lot of a big leap of thought leadership has happened by the doorstep delivery. I would congratulate the industry because if COVID had not happened, the doorstep delivery would not model the model that incorporates doorstep delivery of everything that we want would not have happened or accelerated in this way. People would still be going out to shops to buy things and to the shopping malls to buy products, which is always a choice. But we know at the back of my mind that today things are going to be delivered at my home. So there will be tweaking of the product, there will be tweaking of the service that you offer, which means that you have to be in direct dialogue with the customer, take the customer into confidence. Once in a while, have a chat with the customer to see what value we can add to them, and also get some ideas from the client also, because he is a customer. So there are certain suggestions he might have which you may not have incorporated in the whole process. So that open two-way communication with the customer is very important. Then upgradation of his product. I don't recall any shoe company who will come to me after 1 or 2 years. You have bought your shoe in 2 years before. I think in 2 years you it needs a replacement. Here is a better product for us. So there will have to be a buyback offer, of course. You can have to buy back the shoe, but offer the new product to them. And the customer would be delighted because he would be planning to buy a new shoe. And if the company comes back to him saying that you are already a customer of 2 years, why don't you try this shoe for you? I think this is the ultimate that you can do. Okay, in the process you have to give a discount because he's an existing customer. You have to differentiate between a new customer and an existing customer, and bring certain features. 2 years later, the shoe has to be better than the shoe that you offered 2 years back. Please note that today shoe is a wearable. Okay, and with smart technology all available, I think you can prepare a smart shoe, which means there could be chips inside your shoe which actually take certain body parameters and send signals into the system, which tells you that if your shoe might actually give indications of your health, and say that the health is not doing well or this has increased. Using the acupressure concept, a shoe can do wonders to the health, and that can be the real value add to the customer, offering a smart shoe in today's times when everybody is going for a smart gadget. So put all these small tweaks and you'll be bringing out new products into the market with new business model, with new customer experience. Call the customer on a video chat, record that, show it to other customers, put it up on your video, on your website, that my customers are talking about this, and it will create a wonderful experience with customers, and your shoe will be selling off the shelves. In the meantime, be in touch with academic institute to do fundamental research of the shoe, because a lot of research cannot be done by industry. They don't have the competence. And I don't see too much of collaboration between academic institutes and industry. It's
Right.
high time that industry and academy, they work together and bring out products that suit the real customer. And maybe taking the shoe as an example, you might be in touch with the academic institute, and 2 years later you might come with a product which is kind of healthy, better, and technologically far superior than the product that you sold 2 years back. Put all together, you can build a small world class organization which will be scalable in due course of time. Don't run after the scalability very fast, because you are actually creating a better model. It might take time, but you are adding more value to the society than a scalable organization with a me too product. Okay, if you're building an organization for the future, come with futuristic products every now and then only you are competing with the MNCs that are there in the market. I think that's all. I think I took the example of the shoe, but this is applicable for any product that you bring out to the market.
So thanks a lot for sharing such kind of the insight. It's a pleasure to have you in this platform in today evening. So and having this kind of the discussion. I hope means our viewers, Facebook viewers, they can understand the importance of the thought leadership, particularly the SME sector. They need to understand means what's the importance of the thought leadership, particularly when they are into such kind of the situation where the turbulence has become a one of the fixed factor for them. So we need to understand that. And thanks a lot for sharing this kind of the insight with us. So now we are at the means end part of our show. So hopefully that we will be conducting another time also. We'll be conducting this kind of the discussion and continue the discussion in future as well. Thanks a lot for having this kind of the thanks. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed this session.